Greetings, faithful followers. This is your old pal, Brother Jack Angry, along with Ash.
And Inferna.
And we wanted to take a moment before the show to thank our sponsor, Lovers Luxuries, located at 61st and Maple in Benson, the finest erotic boutique in the city of Omaha. You can visit their website at www.loverluxuries.com, or you can Google them and find a location, the directions to their store. Drop in, say hi, and tell them the Angry Brothers and Ash and Inferna sent you. Well, we hope you enjoy the show.
Bye. Bye.
Greetings, faithful followers. This is your old pal, Brother Jack Angry, along with Inferna. And our special guest today is Smitty from Big Brain here in Omaha. Your shop's down in the old market, isn't that correct?
Between 11th and 12th on Jackson.
Okay, and how long have you been in business?
12 years at this location.
All right, and I've seen a lot of your work. I know Brother James has some of your the tattoos from your shop. He got them through Lenny. What are some of the other artists?
Well, Lenny's one of my most popular and most talented artists. Dominic is very popular as well. But my guys have come from all over the country to work there, so I've got a wide assortment of talents, and everybody kind of has their own specialty. So,
okay,
depending on what you want, I might suggest a different person. Just because Lenny's popular at the big color pieces doesn't mean I would recommend him for a portrait.
Okay, all right. And so, what are some of the specialties? I mean,
well, we have a guy named Jason who was originally from Houston, and he specializes more in the macabre and the evil. He does a little bit of our portrait work along with Dominic, but Dominic's specialty is more along the lines of the traditional Asian and Japanese
the
work.
Kenji stuff.
Sort of like the kanji, but more the dragons and the koi fish and the snapping turtles and the big samurais and stuff like that.
Okay, so if I wanted like a skull or a female demon or something, I might want to talk to Jason, or
I would definitely recommend Jason for that.
Okay.
Him or Seth. Seth's another very popular artist. He's one of my senior guys. He came from Oregon when I hired him, but him and I were brought into the industry by the same circle. My old boss and his old boss were best friends, so I met him at the very beginning of my career, and I'm lucky to work with him again.
All right, and what about, let's talk pricing for a minute. What's the average, or in your opinion, what's a good going rate for a tattoo?
It depends. It's hard to compare an apple to an apple with pricing. You know, one guy could charge $100 an hour and another guy could charge $150 an hour. But if the guy that's charging $150 gets twice as much done in that hour, you've just saved $50 instead of spent $50 more.
So I mean, if I were to go to an artist who, for maybe an average size tattoo, nothing really elaborate, but just something maybe large, and he wants to charge me like, say, $250 an hour, that might be a little out of line, or
that might be a little bit high. There's guys in the industry that charge $400 and $500 an hour.
But it's whatever the market will bear, basically.
Exactly. It's usually based on your awards, your popularity, your resume.
And speaking of awards, now when I was down at your shop, I saw that you won some awards for some big tattoo shows that we had recently.
We've been very fortunate. We compete on the international level, so every once in a while, a white squirrel like me can find a nut.
That's right. You were named as best tattoo shop.
We've got quite a running at it. I think it might be 6 or 7 years, but I always consider it a complete compliment. You know, that's a real credit to the guys at the store.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's basically props from the hometown crowd.
Right.
Basically, if your crowd in your home city don't like you, then you know you're doing something wrong, I guess.
I agree 100%. We're lucky to have a good reputation here, but we try to make our reputation transcend just the Omaha market or even the Midwest market. We go coast to coast.
All right. And
They do traveling.
Yes,
like,
you do travel. You do
school.
traveling shows. Do you do any sort of traveling here around the Omaha or in the Nebraska area?
Omaha has some of the more strict rules in the country when it comes to tattooing outside of your facility.
Okay.
So it's hard to do like bike shows, and it's hard to do bar shows. It has to be a licensed facility in our state. And hopefully they loosen the laws on that, because we just go right across the river to Iowa. I put on a trade show with 2 business partners. One of them, Shane O'Neill, who won that Ink Masters program.
Okay.
And we bring 7 figures a year in with the production company, and instead of having it here in Omaha, we put it right across the river at the Mid-America Center every February, and it's Omaha's loss.
Well, faithful followers out there, write your congressman. Tell them to relax these restrictions on these fine gentlemen in their shops so they can appear at some of the other places. Take a stand and let's get out there and get something done, so they don't have to take their business across the river to Iowa. And I know it works out for you guys, but it kind of sucks for the hometown crowd here.
It does, and the people in Iowa treat us real well too. The Mid-America is a nice facility.
Yes, it is. I go to watch the Omaha Roller Girls there quite a bit.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, and I assume they get taken care of pretty well. They're real hospitable to us, and it would be hard for me to even consider taking it from there. It would be convenient more so for the bar events and the bike shows, and just a little one-man satellite just to set up and do demos at places would be nice, but we're not even allowed to do that.
Yes, I know Nebraska does have some of the like you said, it is some of the most heavily regulated, but I'm amazed at all the new shops that I'm seeing popping up.
There's been a boom, and I think I can compete with the best of them. I don't let it scare me. I know if I keep my head down and keep my shop on the right path, we'll do well.
Well, from what I've seen, I've been very impressed with your shop. I mean, I know James is impressed with all the work he's had done.
Yeah, I think Lenny helps him.
With their work.
Thank you. And I think Lenny takes care of Brother James, and he's got some nice work. Lenny and I have worked together countless times over our careers. When Big Brain originally opened, he was one of the original artists.
Yeah.
He left on his own path for a little while.
Yeah, he had Revolution Studios, wasn't
He
it?
did, and I haven't heard much of them lately. But he went on the road. He worked in Nashville for some of the biggest names in the industry, and went to Atlanta, Georgia, worked for one of the biggest, probably the biggest name in the industry for a long time, and he's just kind of had a golden boy career, and I'm very lucky to have him back.
Well, we're glad he's back. I mean, because I know James is definitely jonesing to get some work done. I mean, he says he's positively addicted to it. I don't know if I could sit in the chair and do that. I'm a coward at heart.
I know it's like to get addicted to it. I never thought I'd spend a lifetime in this industry, but I can't break the habit.
So, speaking of the industry, what's the general life expectancy for someone in the industry? I mean, do they generally pull 20 or 30 years actively doing tattoos? I know it's got to be hard on your hands to hold that gun and everything.
It is. Carpal tunnel's a big problem. Eyesight starts to weaken, and your back and your butt.
Well, yeah, the constantly bending, and some of the positions you have to get into, because I know if somebody wants a tattoo on like the back of their elbow, you practically got to do half the positions in the Kama Sutra to get it twisted around to work.
I wish we got to do positions in the Kama Sutra.
Well, yes, I've seen some of the girls that come in there. That would definitely be a perk. All right, and I know Big Brain specializes also in body piercings. How's that working? I mean, is that kind of going hand in hand with the tattoos? Or
well, we're one of the busiest shops in the country when it comes to the microdermal implants. There's just a couple manufacturers of those. It's a new technique, and 2 of the 3 big ones tell us we're their biggest client. So
yes, that's right, and I saw those
He's
on.
done mine.
I saw those. So you did. Smitty did those as well, or
we do over 200 a week of.
I've been seeing those popping up more and more around town. The first place I ever saw one, I was having my peanut butter chocolate chip pancakes at IHOP, and our waitress was a very attractive girl, and she had like 2 or 3 of them on each arm, and we asked about them, and she said she gets all kinds of compliments on
It's
them.
addictive because they bling. They're
They're
pretty.
very addictive.
Yeah, James loves his
You have
bling,
to take
believe
them off,
me.
put them on. They're there.
It's an easy process. And it's a
very
low risk
easy.
process.
Okay.
It looks like it's not, but it really is.
So is like the tongue piercing, is that still as popular?
Yeah, they go through trends. It's like every other industry, I would assume, or every other fashion. Some will be more popular than others at certain times, but they all come back around.
And so what's, in your opinion right now, what do you think is the most popular?
Well, by far that microdermal implant, or dermals as people like to call
Dermals.
them. But your stuff is still popular. Belly button is still very, very popular and has been my entire 20-year career in this business. Noses are popular.
Doing many Prince Alberts lately?
Well,
was gonna ask
there's only 1 or 2 places in town that do it, so I think I do a disproportionately high percentage of them. But yeah, it's not my favorite part of the job, but I know it's a valuable service.
Not my cup of tea either, you know.
Pretty much anywhere you can get pierced.
But it's valuable to the people that
It's
have it. I
popular.
think I think that's a
like I
pretty
said,
rewarding piercing to hear from one of them.
If that's what floats your boat, you know, it's like more power to you, definitely. I did have a question. The earpieces with the big discs.
Right.
I've seen some pretty large discs. I mean, okay, what's the downside to that?
The downside used to be the permanent damage, but they're so good at reconstructing that now.
Mm-hmm.
I've had very close friends go from ear holes as big as soup cans to unable to even recognize it as ever pierced.
Oh, wow.
So
Well, that's
That
always
is
they repair
interesting.
them. I've got a local contact here at one of the plastic surgery places that do it for $400.
that's not bad.
So
Right, that's really good.
That's not
it
bad
is.
at all.
It is very good.
All right.
I think that's a very generous.
Okay, we've looked at the
promotional
actual.
offer.
Okay, we've looked at the actual getting the tattoo. Now, what about if you want to get rid of the tattoo?
It doesn't work quite as well in the removal process. The best way to use the removal process is to lighten it enough to put another tattoo over it.
So
it's hard to remove it completely. It's expensive. It's painful. I
It's
don't
like
think.
rubber band snapping.
What about a
yeah.
product like? So I'm going to throw out a product name here, and what about a product like Wrecking Balm? I've seen that in some of the tattoo magazines.
Well, we had an aftercare product on the market for a little while, and it was manufactured by the same people who made that Wrecking Balm, in full disclosure. So I won't say anything bad about them. I'd hate to burn that bridge, but there's other techniques that work better, in my opinion.
Okay.
But again, that's just an opinion. A lot of times that just makes the skin foggy enough where you don't see it. Once you stop using the product,
It comes back, or
your skin clears up again, and then.
okay. So the only really way to get rid of them, it would be like burning it off with a laser or
Or a hot spoon.
Oof.
Ooh,
That's
an old remedy.
that's
That's good though.
That's the old school
It
method.
works good though.
Okay. All right. Well, we're gonna get on with the movie, which is Der Golem. It was made in 1928. It was a German production. It's based on the old Hebrew legend of the Golem, basically, which was a warrior created out of mud and clay. It was used for protection. The old Kabbalah and some of the old Talmud, the Jewish religious texts, are full of this legend. It's actually quite prevalent. I won't go into it because unfortunately this isn't a theology class here. It's like that would work out real well. But we're going to let you get on with the movie. It's called Der Golem, and we're bringing you that tonight on the Angry Brothers Omaha Shakorama. We'll be back more with Smitty at the break and at the end of the show. Enjoy and unpleasant dreams.
Good night.
Good night.
Greetings, faithful followers. This is your old pal, Brother Jack Angry, and what do you think of the movie so far? I mean, I know it's a silent film, but it still has a certain quality to it. The actor playing the Golem is just perfect for the role, even though much of that is makeup. But it looks very, very kind of surreal, almost like the cabinet of Dr. Caligari, with the way they did the buildings and things like that. But we're back with Smitty from Big Brain and Inferna. So, Smitty, you were telling me on the break that you've got another big convention coming up here.
We do. We've got a big one coming up in Denver. It's called the Paradise Tattoo Gathering, and it's one of the industry's biggest. It caters to people within the industry, people who have products, like people who sell ink and people who sell aftercare supplies. And it's also open to the public during the weekend, where the people of Denver and the surrounding areas can come in and get tattooed by some of the biggest names in the industry. We'll have a couple of our artists there. I'll be there personally, and so will Lenny.
Oh, great.
It's September 13th through 16th. I'm not sure the venue. I know it's kind of in a pretty scenic place. It's like at a vacationing resort, so it's a good place to visit and stay while you're there. It'll be one of the biggest of the year. All the big names in the industry will be there. Lenny will be taking appointments there. You can reach him on our Facebook page, or you can link to it from the ParadiseTattooGathering.com.
We'll definitely put that link up on our Facebook page and our blog, and so we'll have you email me the information. I did want to mention that one of our friends of the show, Todd Mizia, aka the Toxic Zombie out of Pueblo, we'll be getting this bit to him as well, and we'd like him to, feature it on his show, The Toxic Zombie Presents. That way we can get the word out to all of our friends in Denver, and this information will be going up on the Angry Brothers website and our Facebook group and our blog as well. So we'll do our best to get the word out about Smitty's gathering here. And again, if you have any questions about tattooing, or you want to, or you need a tattoo, be sure and come down to Smitty's. He's located in the Old Market. I'm sure him or one of his artists will be able to help you out. All right. Is there anything else that you want to say about the show?
Well, the best way to reach us and the best way to stay up to date with our travels and where we're going to be and what we're doing is actually by our Facebook page. We've got a pretty elaborate website you can hit, which is bigbrainomaha.com. But our Facebook, we update a lot more. You can research the artist individually, contact them personally by there, and we've just had a great deal of success using our Facebook as our current events page. And you can find us at Big Brain Omaha on Facebook. Okay,
yes, we love Facebook too. I mean, it's done wonders for our show and for getting our word out there to all of our fans and our followers. Just a quick note, at the end of the show, we're going to have Smitty back, and we're going to kind of wrap things up. And you're also going to see a bit that we did at Lovers Luxuries with Jim, one of the clerks, the great staff down there. They treated us excellent. We had a great time at our show on the 14th, which was this past Saturday. We signed well over 100 autographs, got to meet a ton of great people. And you can also look on our website for our Angry Brothers fan page. Inferna was there, and we are going to be introducing one of our potential new actresses, Kendra, who's going to be taking up one of the roles here, one of the new parts with the Angry Brothers, and we'll have her on a future show here, hopefully next week. But again, I'm Brother Jack Angry, along with Inferna and Smitty from Big Brain, and we're going to get back to the movie, Der Golem. So enjoy. Greetings, faithful followers. This is your old pal, Brother Jack Angry, and we're here at Lovers Luxuries. It's Saturday night, and we're appearing here to sign a few autographs and meet with some of our fans. And we wanted to take a moment to introduce Jim, one of the really great staff here at Lovers Luxuries, who's done a fantastic job of making us feel real welcome and taking care of our every need. Jim, so why don't you introduce yourself and tell me a little bit about what you do here.
Well, my name is Jim. I'm the assistant manager here at Lovers Luxuries, and basically I'm a sexpert. I can literally give you any kind of information you possibly may need for anything intimate in the bedroom. If you have any questions about anything in any way, shape, or form, I can always give you great advice. And pretty much the store has anything and everything you could possibly imagine as far as romance goes.
And believe me, he ain't lying about that, faithful followers.
He's a sexpert.
And we're looking around here, and we're seeing just tons of everything you could possibly imagine. And some things we can't show you because of the rules of public access. We're being good, Chris, honest. But come on down to Lovers Luxuries on 61st and Maple. Stop by and say hi to Jim and Sarah and
Ken, Liz,
and Adam. All the rest of the great staff down here. They'll take excellent care of you. They'll get you everything you need, and if you have any questions, they're the ones to ask.
We're open at 3 a.m. every day of the week.
And this store is a lot bigger than what you think when you come in here. There's a lot to choose from and to look at.
6,500 square foot, packed out.
And that's a lot, believe me. So, Jim, so how long since you guys have been open? How's business been doing?
We've opened November 8th. Business has been nothing but getting better and better. Our customer flow is getting better and better. Our name's getting out there, and definitely putting everybody else to shame.
Well, and that's what we want. You know, we want Lovers Luxuries to be the best in Omaha. We've said it on our at the beginning of every show. This is truly the finest adult emporium in the city of Omaha, and we stand by that statement 100%.
Yes.
Very much so. In the Midwest, in my opinion.
Yeah, and speaking of that, the other competition, you were telling me that some of when you guys pretty much came into being, some of the other competition pretty much just threw in the towel, as it were.
Quite literally. We can't mention names and what happened, but definitely, as soon as we showed up, the doors opened up. We knocked some competition out of the water, very much so.
You know, we're a firm believer in free market competition and all that, but you know, people, you gotta go with your values these days. You gotta get the most bang for your buck, and this is the place to do it.
Yes.
Very much so. Great prices. And also, don't forget about the love tunnel. You must see it.
Yes, the tunnel of love. I've been through it. You saw that on one of the previous shows, and believe me, it takes a little getting used to.
Throw you for a loop.
Should put a roller coaster in there.
Already did.
There you go.
I know.
All right. Well, that concludes our little segment here at Lovers Luxuries. So come on down. We're at 61st and Maple, and we're going to be here till 11 o'clock tonight. I'm your old pal, Brother Jack Angry, along with Inferna and Jim from Lovers Luxuries, wishing all of our fans good night and unpleasant dreams.
Good night.
Greetings, faithful followers. This is your old pal, Brother Jack Angry, along with Inferna and Smitty from Big Brain. What did you think of the movie? Wasn't that something? Now, next week's film is going to be Grave of the Vampire. It was a 1972 kind of drive-in fare, but it involves things like vampires, women, rape, and, well, no, not rape. We're just joking with that, so don't send us any letters. And other strange and unusual subjects. But it's actually a very good vampire film. Stars Michael Pataki, who you might remember from things like Star Trek. He was in the episode Trouble with Tribbles. Been a really major character actor throughout, probably for the last 40 years. So we'll be running that next week, and we will hopefully be having some of our new actresses. Our friend Kendra will be stopping by in the near future, and she'll be filling one of the parts on the show. We'll have Inferna back and some other guests as well, and we'll keep you up to date on that. Smitty, is there anything you want to say before we wrap this all up?
Well, I'd like to thank you for having me.
Well, we're always happy to help out, and we love your work, and we always want to support the local artists.
It's been a generous and kind host. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Do appreciate it.
Thank you for coming. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, Inferno was really, really glad Smitty came.
Yes, I am.
But anyway, faithful followers, I'm Brother Jack Angry, along with Inferna and Smitty from Big Brain, wishing you good night and unpleasant dreams.
Good night.
Good night.
Well, greetings, faithful followers. This is your old pal, Brother Jack Angry, along with
Ash and Inferna.
And we wanted to take a moment at the end of the show here to thank our sponsor, Lovers Luxuries, located at 61st and Maple in downtown Benson, the finest erotic boutique in the city of Omaha. We hope you'll stop in and visit them and check out their website for really great deals and information about the store, and that's at www.loverluxuries.com, and tell them the Angry Brothers and Ash and Inferna sent you. Well, good night and unpleasant dreams.
Mwah. Good night, guys.
Cut. 3. Good. Great.
I'm like,
I'm watching on the corner of my eye.